Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates. My name's Ron Tyler. Welcome to our program tonight. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. Want to welcome you here tonight. We have a lot of things we want to talk about. The top story of the day is a spacecraft from Russia that was launched in 1972 by Russia towards Venus that never made it out of Earth orbit. And sometime tonight or early Saturday morning and as late as 0329 or 3:29 a.m. Eastern Time, it is scheduled to re-enter the atmosphere. Now I'm going to warn you, this is going to be one of the largest pieces of space junk we've ever seen. Russia's been saying that this piece of space junk that I've got a picture of right here, want to show you this. I'm sorry, that's not it. Nope, not it either. Doggone it. Well, I thought I had it here. Anyway, huge piece of space junk. And I've got a video here I want to show you this piece of space junk that's hurling to Earth right now as we speak. Great big huge piece of space junk hurling towards Earth right now. Now this is going to be a big one. This is going to be a huge one. Okay? I'm just saying. A great big huge piece of space junk. It's going to go right through the center of the United States and parts of British Columbia, Canada. It's going to go over the Caribbean and over the Gulf of Mexico as well, and parts of Florida. Then it's going to go through the northern part of South America. Now it is possible, there is a 29% chance, a 29% chance that this piece of space junk could reach Earth. Well, it could reach Earth, it's going to reach Earth, but there's a 29% chance, 1 in 25,000% chance that someone could get hit, that any one person could get hit. That's a big deal. That's huge. That's huge. Okay, there we go. I'm back. I don't know why the video quit working, but I'm back. But there is a 29% chance that this piece of space junk could not just reach Earth, but hit someone on Earth. Only a 29% chance, 1 in 25,000th chance. One person in 25,000 people could get hit. That's no joke. That's no joke. Let me put up the video I have here from Denver 7 showing this piece of space junk here. Denver 7 News had this video that I want to play for you right now.
A piece of space history expected to hurtle toward Earth in the next 24 hours. A Russian spacecraft called Cosmos 482 will fall out of orbit and crash back down to Earth sometime between tomorrow afternoon and just after midnight Saturday morning. CU's Laboratory for Atmospheric and Space Physics very closely watching this reentry. Cosmos 482 launched from Russia in 1972. It was on a mission to Venus. Well, some technical problems prevented it from ever getting there, and it's just been stuck in Earth's orbit ever since. I called the folks at CU Boulder this afternoon to find out if we should be worried. Well, Marcin Polinsky says the spacecraft was designed to enter Venus's atmosphere. That's much denser, much hotter than Earth's. Therefore, it's not expected to break apart during entry to Earth tomorrow.
Is this a significant event, an exciting event, for lack of a better word, for those who follow such things?
It is, yes, both because of its history and because of its really unique orbit and how it's interacted with the Earth. It's been in this delicate dance with the Earth's upper atmosphere for decades. And people like myself and others here in Colorado and elsewhere around the world were very excited to learn from that object and learn from its many years of orbiting the Earth.
Now, scientists are still struggling to pinpoint the exact reentry point, but Polinsky says best guess right now, somewhere in the ocean, near Asia. He adds that even if it falls on land, it's very compact. It's only 3.5 feet in diameter, so the odds of it hitting someone or something are very low.
It's possible, yes. It is possible, but it's highly unlikely. It's possible, highly unlikely. It's only 3 feet in diameter. That's the other good thing. It's only 3 feet in diameter. It's not likely to hit anybody, okay? 1 in 25,000% chance. Unreal. This is a huge piece of space junk, though. It's one of the largest pieces of space junk that we've had hit the Earth. But I don't think it's going to hit. I don't think it's going to hit. I had a picture here. Let me see if I can pull it up here really quick. I want to show you this. Oh, crud, maybe I don't. I'm sorry, maybe I don't have it here. I thought I had it here. It's a large piece of space junk, though. Like I said, it looks like a great big huge clock with white on the outside, and on the outside of it says CCCP, Communist Space Program, okay? But that's what is supposed to hit. Again, the reporter from Denver 7 said is going to hit out in the ocean over near Asia. Now, that's not what the scientists are saying at NASA. That's not what the scientists are saying at NASA. Let me pull up our USGS map really quick here. I want to show you where the scientists say it's probably going to hit. Okay, this is the USGS map we're sitting here. We're showing you San Diego and the Imperial Valley here. I'm going to take this down here, and I'm going to go over here to the southern coast of South America. Okay, this is where we had that huge earthquake, huge major earthquake last week. Okay, 7.8 earthquake here last week. This is where that piece of space junk is supposed to land. This is probably one of the most common places where this piece of space junk could end up. Right down here south of South America. Now, they have said that there is a chance, a small chance, that this piece of space junk could end up here in the Indian Ocean in southeastern Asia, right down here. There is a chance, but NASA scientists are saying that's most likely to hit down here south of Drake Passage, down here between Antarctica and South America, right down here in this area. So we should see what happens. But again, this piece of space junk is not supposed to deorbit and hit land or hit anywhere on Earth until 3:29 a.m. Saturday morning. But I'm going to tell you this. It's my belief that any time between now and 3:29 a.m. this morning or tomorrow morning, it could hit. It could re-enter the atmosphere between now and tomorrow morning. Now, this could change. This could change drastically. I'm going to show you why in just a second here. Now, when something like this happens, other things fall into play on what's going to happen right here. For example, this is a solar disk today. Notice that great big huge sunspot here in the southeastern side of the sun. Great big huge sunspot. Well, guess what? Other things have been happening. Other things have been happening. Now, why do I say that? There's been no major solar events happening on the sun except for this. This is the kind of thing that's been happening on the sun for the past 24 to 48 hours. Great big huge filaments from the sun launching off the sun and acting like a solar tornado. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Okay? This is what's happening. Now, the local KP index is very low, meaning there's very little chance for plasma radiation to interfere with the spacecraft deorbiting the Earth, deorbiting into the Earth's atmosphere earlier than tomorrow morning. There's a small chance. But the most plasma radiation that's hitting this Earth right now is hitting Earth now. Okay? Yes, we've had some R-class solar flares. We have had some R-class solar flares as of late, even during the past 24, 48 hours. Those solar flares have released plasma radiation. They've released plasma radiation. Now, let me show you what I know. When the plasma radiation is released from the sun, it goes like this. It releases from the sun like this. And when it hits Earth, it goes like this. It completely envelopes the planet like this, meaning the solar radiation completely covers the planet, completely covers Earth. And as a result, that's when the plasma heats up the magnetosphere that stops objects from entering through space to the Earth. Asteroids, for example. Some of the magnetosphere is still very weak, but the magnetosphere has always been there to protect Earth most of the time. Now, with the weak magnetosphere that was caused by the previous solar minimum, the weak magnetosphere that was caused by the solar minimum, we have some plasma radiation that's come into the atmosphere. It's heated up the surface of the Earth. It's heated up the tectonic plates. I've explained this to you before. It's heated up the tectonic plates, and what happens then? The tectonic plates heat up, and all that gunk and grime, all that rock, all that biological material, all that sand and dirt and such turns into something close to oil or grease. And in doing so, all that stuff that usually holds the plates and the earthquake faults in place turns to grease oil and allows the plates and the earthquake faults to more freely move. And that's what we're seeing. This is what we're seeing. That plasma radiation heats up the plates and heats up the earthquake faults. It also heats up the core of the Earth as well. Okay, but this is what's happened so far that we know about. There's been no major solar activity at all. We've had some R and S class flares at best, but that's all. That's all. Now, I want to go back out to the USGS map briefly. I want to talk about some earthquakes that have hit today. I want to talk about the new Madrid fault and a little bit about emergency preparedness today. It is, however, Emergency Preparedness Friday. We talk about preparedness all the time on Fridays. Okay, so let's go back out to the USGS map. We have some things to discuss here. Okay, for example, over in the Solomon Islands out here, this is actually Vanuatu. Let's enlarge this area so you can truly see it. This is Vanuatu. This is a large 5.1 earthquake. Large 5.1 earthquake here in Vanuatu. Now, we have also an aftershock here. This is a 4.3 aftershock. Okay, that happens. This is also very deep, 629 kilometers deep. What do we know about that? How many of you have been following this channel for a very long time? And you've also heard about me talking about deep quakes. What does that do? What does it do when we have deep quakes, ladies and gentlemen? It causes stronger, shallower quakes. Causes shallower, stronger quakes. Does that mean something's going to happen? It possibly could. It very possibly could happen. What does it do when we have deep quakes, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry, I had to readjust my monitor here. Anyway, folks, we are going to have stronger, shallower quakes as a result of this very deep quake. We've had up to 700 kilometers deep before. This is 629 kilometers deep. 4.3 earthquake. Guess where we're going to take this from here? We're going to take this to a 5.6 large earthquake. A 5.6 very large earthquake. That's what's going to happen here again. Yes, this is Vanuatu. This is Vanuatu. But let me back this out a little bit. Let me show you what's actually going to happen here. Okay? That seismic energy could move over to not just Tonga, Samoa, the Kermadec Islands, or even New Zealand. It could actually go over to South America. This seismic energy could travel over here to Chile or Argentina. It's happened before. It's happened before. It could go over to the Tonga region as well, right in here. So we could see a very large 5.6 earthquake here in Samoa Tonga region. It could go over here is short distance as in Fiji here. We can see a very strong earthquake here in Fiji. It can travel down here to the Kermadec Islands here, where today we had a 5.0 large earthquake here. This is a shallow earthquake. This is a shallow earthquake. We're not going to see anything else happen as a result of this earthquake here. But like I said, that moderate earthquake aftershock over in Vanuatu could come down here into the Kermadec Islands or over here, south over here in New Zealand. USGS is still not showing any earthquakes here in New Zealand, which is a fallacy. 24 earthquakes here in New Zealand. Most of these earthquakes around the North Island, Raoul Island here in New Zealand. Yes, there are also a handful of earthquakes south of there between the Cook Strait here, which is this body of water between the North and South Island, or over here in the north part of the South Island, or over here in the southwestern part of the South Island as well. Southland National Park down here. Okay, that's what could happen. The seismic energy could also travel over here to Papua New Guinea. We've already seen our share of earthquakes here, and USGS is still not showing all the earthquakes here in Papua New Guinea, or even over here in Papua, Indonesia. They're not showing them. Why not? They should be. They really should be. Okay? That seismic energy could go over here into mainland New Zealand over here, or one of these seas over here in Indonesia as well. They're not showing any earthquakes here in Indonesia. There are 18 earthquakes here in Indonesia, and they're only showing one here, which is a 4.5 earthquake here. And this is over near Bima, B-I-M-A, Indonesia, east of Java. A lot of earthquakes, 18 earthquakes. Why are they not showing them? They're only showing one earthquake to the north over in the Philippines. There are 5 earthquakes here in the Philippines. Not showing those either. Why not? There are earthquakes over here in Japan. Why are they not showing those? Why not? Why not? Now, over here in Vanuatu, they're showing earthquakes, right? Well, guess what happened right here? Guess what happened right here today? There are 18 earthquakes here in the Solomon Islands. 18 earthquakes here in the Solomon Islands. One of them was a very strong 6.2 earthquake. A very strong 6.2 earthquake. Why are they not showing that? 17 aftershocks of that 6.2. They're not showing that very strong earthquake here. That's why I have real problems with the USGS. They're not showing the data that's supposed to be showing. People's lives depend on it. People's lives depend on it. What if someone flew into the Solomon Islands for vacation today? They would have run into a very large earthquake, very strong 6.2 earthquake, and 17 aftershocks to boot. Why are they not showing them? The earthquakes are available over on the EMSC European website. Why is USGS not showing them? That's bad. That's very bad. 6.2 earthquake here in the Solomon Islands, and we see this large earthquake over here in Vanuatu as well. Why is USGS not covering it? That's poor planning. Poor planning makes for poor performance. Now I want to go over here into Japan here. They're showing one earthquake south of Hokkaido, Japan, which is the northernmost island of Japan. This is a 4.5 earthquake. Moderate earthquake at that, 47 kilometers deep. One earthquake up here to the north. This is Korsakov, Russia. Korsakov, Russia, in the Sea of Okhotsk here. 4.4 earthquake. But what they're not showing you, are all the other earthquakes here in the Kuril Islands. 6 earthquakes here in the Kuril Islands. Up here at Kamchatka Peninsula. This Kamchatka Peninsula is full of volcanoes. It's also today full of earthquakes. 8 earthquakes here in Kamchatka Peninsula. This is a large 5.0 earthquake here. Large 5.0 earthquake. And all the other earthquakes here are also 4.9 to 5.0 earthquakes as well. I have real issues with that. Why are they not showing all these earthquakes here? All the data is available on the European website. Why is it not here? The European website I'm referring you to is the EMSC website, European Meteorological System here. They're not showing it. But one 5.0 earthquake here. Dadgum, USBS. You're putting people's lives in danger here. You're putting people's lives in danger here. Let's go further over here to the east, over here in the Rat Islands of the Aleutian Island system here. This is Attu Station. 3.8 small earthquake here in the Aleutian Island system here. Further to the west, this is 79 kilometers west of Adak, Alaska. This is a 1.2 tremor. Over here, just south of Perryville, Alaska. This is a moderate 4.4 earthquake here on the Aleutian Island Ridge here. The Aleutian Island Fault Zone. 4.2 earthquake. This is one of the exact same locations between Perryville and Sandpoint, Alaska, where we've had a 7.8 and an 8.7 earthquake here just 4 years ago. A 7.8 and an 8.7 earthquake here 4 years ago. Today, a 4.2 earthquake. Over here, Kodiak Island. This is a 2.6 minor earthquake here, 48 kilometers deep. Right next to it, this is a 2.9 3.0, 30 kilometers deep, 31 kilometers deep. Incredible. Now next to a volcano, right over here. This is a 0.1 microquake. Old Ililama volcano here. Right next to it. They say this is a minus 0.2 microquake here. Anytime we have minor or minus numbers, it signifies that these earthquakes are above sea level. I take umbrage with that. This earthquake is 1 mile deep. This earthquake is 1 mile deep. It's not above sea level at all. I have real issues with USBS lying to us. Possibly a microquake, yes, but it's not minus numbers. Again, we have the USBS lying to us again and again and again. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. Over here in the Cook Inlet, this is a 0.3 microquake here. Over here on the Eastern Peninsula here, 1.8 tremor here. This is a 2.0 minor earthquake, Fox River, Alaska. Fox River, Alaska. Now let's go over to the west side of the Cook Inlet, right here. They say this is a minus 0.8 microquake. 78 kilometers northwest of Ninilchik, Alaska. Fascinating, but no cigar. Okay? This is just southeast of Mount Redoubt. Southeast of Mount Redoubt, a minus 0.8. This is only a quarter of a mile deep, so this might be above sea level because we have the hills here, the foothills of Mount Redoubt. We go north here, north and west. USBS falsely states that this is 85 kilometers west of Salmatov, Alaska. This is just south of Mount Redoubt. South of Mount Redoubt volcano. North of Mount Redoubt here, we have a 0.1 microquake. They say this is 10 kilometers deep. 5 miles deep. Really? Really? I have issues with that. Actually, this is 6 miles deep. 6.2 miles deep. Okay? I have issues with that. Let's go even further north here. Right here. This is Tynek, Alaska. Tynek, Alaska. You see a small swarm of earthquakes here. This is a minus 0.5. This is a mile and a half deep. This is also minus 0.8. Mile and a half deep. This is minus 0.6. This is also 2.6 kilometers deep, just over a mile deep. Right here, minus 0.9. These are all microquakes. Minus 0.9 to 1.0 tremors here. 2.5 kilometers deep, just over a mile deep. Incredible. These are in the foothills of a mountain here. On the other side of that mountain here, also in the western foothills, this is a minus 0.8. They say this is 65 kilometers west-northwest of Beluga, Alaska. Really? Really? Further west here, 0.1, 68 kilometers west-northwest of Beluga, Alaska. This was 68 kilometers west-northwest. This is 65 kilometers west-northwest. Mile and a half difference. Down to the south here. This is a minus 0.7. All of these are microquakes except for this. This is 7 kilometers deep. 3.5 miles deep. I doubt that this is above sea level. I highly doubt that this earthquake is above sea level. This is below sea level here. Okay? Unreal. Why is USGS lying through their teeth again? It seems that that's what they do best. Lie through their teeth. I'm going over here to Anchorage, Alaska, right here. The largest city in Alaska and the capital of Alaska is Anchorage. Across the inlet from Cook Inlet here. This is Mackenzie, Alaska, Point Mackenzie, Alaska. This is a 1.0 tremor. Further out here, we have a volcano. This volcano is still showing signs of being alive. Showing signs of being alive. Folks, it still could erupt 75 miles west of Anchorage, Alaska. Still could erupt. To the north here, this is 1.6 tremor here, 8 kilometers south-southwest of Big Lake, Alaska. Big Lake, Alaska is right here. Okay, I'll accept that. I'll accept that. 1.6 tremor here. We go north. 1.1 tremor, 7 kilometers, 2.5 miles west-northwest of Houston, Alaska. Interesting. We go north. 1.1 tremor here. 25 kilometers east-northeast of Willow, Alaska. It's not east-northeast of Willow. It's west-northwest of Willow, Alaska. Again, why is USGS lying through their teeth again? Willow, Alaska is west-northwest. Or this earthquake is west-northwest of Willow. Right next to it, another 1.1 tremor here. Both of these earthquakes are 9 kilometers deep. In the southern area right here, this is Sutton, Alpine, Alaska. A 2.6 earthquake here. Let's go over here to Denali, Alaska. Over here in the central west portion of Denali, Alaska here. This is a 1.5 tremor here. Right next to it, to the west, a 1.4 tremor. They're calling this Denali, Alaska here, guys. They're saying it is south-southeast of Denali. It's not. It's west-northwest of Denali, Alaska. Okay? Denali, Alaska is this huge snow-covered expanse here. That is Denali National Park. That earthquake I just showed you here is west-northwest of Denali. Up here to the north of Denali here. 3.4 earthquake, small 3.4. This is actually a northern part of Denali, Alaska. And USGS is still misidentifying this as west-southwest Cantwell, Alaska. It's not. Again, they misidentify what's going on here. Stupid. Stupid. Our own agency is stupid. Not telling us the truth. The earthquake that is the northernmost part of Alaska. This is north of Beaver, Alaska. 25 miles, 50 kilometers north of Beaver, Alaska. 2.2 earthquake. 2.2 earthquake. Now I want to go to the southern part of Alaska right here. This is Nelchina, Alaska. Nelchina, Alaska. 1.2 tremor. This is just north of Valdez, Alaska. North of Valdez, Alaska. This earthquake further south here. Right here. This is 21 kilometers west of Valdez. 21 kilometers west of Valdez. Guess what? This is Valdez, Alaska. This is Valdez, Alaska all day long. Okay? It's incredible what USGS will do. Okay? I said it before, also I will always say it. They lie, they lie, they lie, and they just think it's okay. They believe it's okay. Now, just briefly, I want to go over here into the Pacific Northwest. I want to talk about earthquakes hitting along the coastline here. For example, this earthquake here near Tahoe, Washington. Tahoe, Washington. This is a 1.7 tremor. Guys, we've had a huge slew of earthquakes hitting here. There's been a swarm of earthquakes hitting here in the Pacific Northwest. Approximately 277 earthquakes have hit here in the Pacific Northwest today. 277 earthquakes hit here in the Pacific Northwest today. That is a huge slew of earthquakes. What is going on? What is going on? Guys, there is a video out showing a great big huge, several mile long underwater volcano that's about to erupt off the coast of Oregon. Could we have a Cascadia earthquake here? Yes, we absolutely could. The number of earthquakes that are here could constitute a huge earthquake, a huge Cascadia earthquake. Yes, it could happen. It could happen here. It could happen here, guys. And I'm very serious about that. Okay? I'm serious. I couldn't be more serious. Richard Smith is talking about that Russian spacecraft, that 842 spacecraft that's heading towards Earth right now. Right now it's passing over Chile. Right now it's passing over southern Chile. Now, we're talking here in Washington, Oregon area. Yes, we are expecting a Cascadia earthquake. We are expecting a Cascadia earthquake. It's not going to be pretty. It will not be pretty, because the USGS continues to deny what's going on. They continue to deny what's going on. Let me show you right here. Again, look where it's at. This is east of Calumet, Washington. East of Calumet, Washington. They say this is a 1.4 explosion. Really? Is this really a 1.4 explosion? 11 kilometers east-northeast of East Calumet, Washington? Guess what? Look where this is at. This is in a highly forested area. This is a 1.4 tremor here. This is a 1.4 tremor here. What's wrong with this picture here? What is wrong with this picture? Can anybody tell me what's wrong with this picture? Spontaneous combustus carnivorous. Spontaneous combustus carnivorous. An exploding tree. But that's not all, folks. There's another one here. Let's back out here. There's another spontaneous combustus carnivorous right here to the south. Right here. Let's zoom into it. It's just outside of town, west of Mount St. Helens. West of Mount St. Helens. Interesting. They say it's another 1.1 explosion. Really? This does not look like an explosion at all. There's a golf course here. An explosion at a golf course? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with this? Unreal. Another spontaneous combustus carnivorous west of Mount St. Helens. West of Mount St. Helens. southwest of Mount St. Helens. Mount St. Helens is up here to the north right here. This is southwest of Mount St. Helens, okay? Further south, this is a 2.1 earthquake. They say this is east-southeast of Banks, Oregon. 2.1 earthquake. This happens to be 1/8 of a mile deep. Up here at Mount Rainier, good old Mount Rainier, guess what? They're showing a microquake, a 0.3 microquake. This happens to be a half mile deep. A half mile deep inside Mount Rainier. I hate to tell USGS this, but they're lying through their teeth. This is not just representative of what's going on here. There are many, probably 100 microquakes hitting here at Mount Rainier. There's also probably 50 or 80 minor earthquakes here as well. There's also at least 2 small earthquakes, 3.0, 3.3 earthquakes hitting Mount Rainier today. And USGS tries to show us a 0.3 microquake. Why are they not showing all the other earthquakes hitting here? Why are they not showing any earthquakes hitting Mount St. Helens? Because again, they are lying through their teeth. They're showing 1 earthquake here on the coast of Washington when there's actually 277. And a volcano off the coast of Oregon. Volcano off the coast of Oregon looks like it's going to erupt. Looks like it's going to erupt. But they don't have the sense that God gave them to tell us exactly what's going on. We could be seeing a Cascadia earthquake. We could be seeing a volcanic eruption off the coast of Oregon. Are they going to admit to it? Are they going to even show what's going on? Probably not. In the southern part of the Cascadia subduction zone, down here on the Gorda Escarpment, this is a 3.5 small earthquake here. South there, a 2.4 earthquake here. Minor earthquake. Both of these northwest of Petrolia, California. On the San Andreas Fault here, west of the Triple Junction. This is a 2.0 earthquake on the San Andreas Fault. Just south of there, another 2.6 minor earthquake here. 2.6 earthquake here on the San Andreas Fault as well. Unreal. Guys, we have our share of earthquakes here in the Cascadia subduction zone. And they are not even willing to show us what's going on. It's happening. To you folks in Oregon and Washington, batten down the hatches. To you folks here in Cascadia region, Washington, Oregon, and even Vancouver, British Columbia, batten down the hatches. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have your emergency preparedness kits we've been talking about. Make sure you've written your emergency plans. Make sure you've done those things because we could have something major here happening. It could happen very quickly. It could happen at any time. I've already revised my Cascadia earthquake forecast from 5 years to 2 years. Yes, I believe we're probably going to have a Cascadia earthquake here within the next 2 years. All the signs point to it. All the signs point to it. Now let's go across the United States here to the New Madrid Fault. This is where our discussion is going to remain here on the New Madrid Fault. Ridgely, Tennessee here on the eastern side of the New Madrid Fault. They have this as a 2.1 earthquake. 2.1 minor earthquake. This happens to be 4 miles east. 4 miles east of the Madrid Fault. Incredible. This is also 7.4 kilometers deep, just over 3 miles deep on the Madrid Fault. I'm going to show you on a seismogram in just a few minutes what's going on in Ridgely, Tennessee. This earthquake here, Marston, Missouri. I'm going to show you on a seismogram in a few minutes exactly what is going on at Marston, Missouri as well. They show this to be a 2.0 earthquake as well. We are having earthquakes here on the Madrid Fault. Real earthquakes here. Okay, what's going on? What's going on? Richard, I'm going to talk about Roscosmos 482 in a while. Okay, I don't know how fast 44 kilometers per second is. It's hiking. It's flying. It's flying. Okay? It's probably 10,000 miles an hour. Probably 10,000 miles an hour. Okay? Lena, I don't know if the trees are responding or not. I don't know. I don't talk tree. Okay? But here on the Madrid Fault, we have some earthquakes. Let's go over now to the seismograms that I'm going to show you. This may blow your mind. This may very well blow your mind. Okay? Let me take down my spontaneous combustion scenarios. I want to thank Demon Catman for this. He's the one that sent me this. I appreciate it, Dean. God bless you. Let's go over to what's going on. Folks, I would be remiss in saying that we have a problem. I would be very much remiss in saying we have a problem. We have a huge problem. In the past, I've said that we are going to have a major earthquake on the Madrid Fault. And for quite a while, quite some time, I've been saying that we're going to have a major earthquake on the Madrid Fault within the next years, and I'm sticking with that. I'm staying with that. There's a reason. There is a very good reason. Let's look at this earthquake on these earthquakes right now in Truman, Arkansas. Truman, Arkansas. Southern Arkansas. Southern Arkansas, guys. Do we have a problem? Oh, yes, we do. We really do. Look at this earthquake here this morning. This happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This happened, this primary wave here was at least a 3.03.2 earthquake. Small earthquake. Small earthquake. Truman, Arkansas. This is just south of Mark Tree, Arkansas. I usually show this after I show you Mark Tree. Guys, look at this. Look at the seismic energy here. Just after midnight over here on the left side, which would be midnight last night, midnight this morning, 12 o'clock this morning. All we have are tremors. It took 10 minutes to start building up to 1.2 tremors. Another minute or so to 1.3. 2 minutes later, we have a 1.4 tremor. Within 30 seconds, a 1.4, 1.5. 10 seconds later, 1.6, 1.7. We come over here to the left after 12:15. 1.6, 1.7 again, about 30 seconds. Then it gradually dies off after 3 minutes. Then it's very quiet until 12:30. At 12:30, the tremors start building. 12:03, 1.2 tremor. Just before 12:04, 0.4 micro or 1.4 minor earthquake. 1.4 minor earthquake. 30 seconds later, 1.7 tremor. Then, within 45 seconds later, 2.8, 2.9 earthquake. Another 2.8, 2.9 earthquake about 45 seconds later. About 30 seconds later, we have a 3.0, 3.3 earthquake. Multiple earthquakes. Notice this 3.0, 3.3 earthquake sequence lasts quite a while. Then it drops down to about 2.5, 2.6, and then we have the process of the secondary wave after that. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes later. 4 minutes later. That tells me this seismograph was turned down. The seismograph itself was turned down. This 3.0, 3.3 earthquake here was actually probably a 3.5, 4.0 earthquake here on the New Madrid fault. 3.5, 4.0 earthquake here on the New Madrid fault. Why? Because we have a secondary wave here. We have a secondary wave that lasts 4 minutes until it completely dissipates. That's how I got that earthquake. And yet they, on the USGS map, are not showing this 3.5, 4.0 earthquake. They're not showing anything. They're not showing anything. They're not showing all these other tremors here. They're not showing all these other tremors right here. Look at that. Anywhere from 1.0 on up to 1.5, 1.6 tremors all over the place, multiple times. Then we come down here to 11:15. Again, at 11:15, we have 1.0, 1.2, 1.3 tremors. At 11:16, we have 1.4 tremor there. Then over the space of almost 2 minutes, all of a sudden we have a 2.0 earthquake sequence. Multiple 2.2s back to back. Then we have some tremors that last for about another minute and a half. Then we have some 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes. 2.8, 2.9 earthquakes back to back over about a 30-second sequence. Then again, after that, we have 1, 2, 3, 3.5 minutes of secondary wave. 3.5 minutes of secondary wave. So this 2.8, 2.9 could have at least been a 3.1, 3.2 earthquake. Yeah. Truman, Arkansas. Truman, Arkansas, guys. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Let me show you Mark Tree, Arkansas. That's just north of there. Look at this earthquake here. This earthquake here on the black line on the right-hand side. This started hitting about 1:10 this morning. Tremor activity, actually 108 this morning. Tremor activity, 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes of tremor activity, all the way up to 1.7 tremors. Then we had a 2.5, 2.6 earthquake. Then we had some smaller tremors and 2.0 earthquake. Then all of a sudden, after 1:13 a.m. this morning, a 3.0 earthquake here at Madrid, Arkansas. Multiple 3.0 earthquakes here within a sequence. Then after 1:14 a.m. this morning, another sequence of 3.0 earthquakes here at the very right, the far right. That's not enough. The seismic activity continues at 1:15. Continues at 1:15 for another full minute. 3.0 earthquakes for another full minute. In this case, I don't think we got over 3.0, 3.1 earthquake here. Why is that? Because we only have 60 seconds of secondary wave activity. 60 seconds of secondary wave activity. So we're probably right on the money of calling this a 3.0 earthquake sequence. 3.0 earthquake sequence lasting 3 minutes. How would you like to be laying down in bed trying to sleep when all of a sudden you feel your bed shake? Just like shaking, just enough to wake you up. That's what they experienced here in Madrid, Arkansas today, and in Truman, Arkansas today. Unreal. Unreal. You can see all the other earthquakes here. We have tremors and we also have minor earthquakes here at the bottom. This is what gets me. Here after 11:30 this morning, about 11:38 this morning, we've already experienced tremors here. But 11:38 this morning, the tremors became minor earthquakes. 2.5, 2.7, 2.8. At 11:40 this morning. 11:40 this morning. We had more 3.0 earthquakes here. You can see the entire sequence here on the blue line at the bottom. This is a lot of shaking here at Madrid, Arkansas. That's this morning. How about this afternoon? Things calmed down a little bit this afternoon. Yes, we had our share of tremors. But after 2:40 this morning, 2:40 this afternoon, largest earthquake we had was a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. Then down at the bottom, just after 3:04 p.m. this afternoon, 2.5 earthquake there. Things calmed down relatively quickly here this afternoon. But this morning was hopping all over the place. Hopping all over the place. Let's go south of Truman, Arkansas, down to Tyrone, Arkansas here. Look at this, guys. It was relatively quiet today, early this morning. Until we got down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6:30 this morning. 6:37 this morning. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake. 7:42 this morning. Actually 7:40 this morning. 3.2 earthquakes. 3.2 earthquakes back to back for about 10 seconds. Just small shaking. Rattling your bed, rattling your knickknacks on your nightstand or on the bed, on the bookcase, rattling anything you might have left on your dinner table last night, rattling around your silverware, your cups and glasses and plates in the kitchen? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what happened here. Tyrons, Arkansas. 2 months ago, we could hardly get any minor earthquakes. Yes, we had minor earthquakes here in Tyrons, Arkansas 2 months ago. Now we are having full-blown earthquakes here on the Pneumatic Fault in Arkansas. Full-blown earthquakes here in Tyrons, Arkansas. Incredible. Yes, we were having earthquakes up in Mark Tree, Arkansas to the north. But Tyrons, Arkansas to the south, minor earthquakes were here. Now we're seeing full-blown earthquakes. What happened there this morning? Look at this. I'm sorry, this afternoon. This is this afternoon. Tyrons, Arkansas this afternoon. Yes, we had 3.0 earthquakes here this afternoon. Fact. Look what's going on, guys. Look what's happening here. Look what's happening here. After 1 p.m., about 1:10 p.m. this afternoon, 3.0 earthquakes. 30 seconds later, another sequence of 30-second or 3.0 earthquakes. A minute and a half later, another 2 or 3 3.0 earthquakes. Small earthquakes. This place is shaking, guys. Tyrons, Arkansas is shaking. Let's drop down here to 2:55 p.m. this afternoon on the green line. 3.2 earthquake. 3.2 earthquake. Prior to that, we had some tremors and minor earthquakes. 3.0, 3.1 earthquake here. Then we had some tremors and minor earthquakes after that, until we come down here to just after 3 p.m. 3:01. 3:01 this afternoon. 3.2, 3.3. Then we have more minor earthquakes after that, until we get to 3:03. 3:03, we have 3.3, 3.4 earthquakes back to back. Multiple 3.3, 3.4 earthquakes back to back. Then drops down to tremors, and about 20 seconds later, we have multiple 3.0, 3.3 earthquakes here again. This earthquake sequence, guys, this particular earthquake sequence lasts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. 5 full minutes of earthquakes, and it just didn't start there. It actually started at 2:55, 2:54 actually, p.m. this afternoon. Didn't stop. And I don't think it stopped after I pulled this seismograph. I think this area is still shaking. I believe this area is still shaking, guys. And I'm serious about it. This area is still shaking. Okay? The entire pneumatic fault is moving. The entire pneumatic fault is moving. I want to take you now over to Guam, Missouri. Just north of Arkansas, we have Missouri. Also right smack dab in the center of the pneumatic fault. Look at Guam, Missouri here. Multiple minor earthquakes, and even some 3.0 earthquakes here today. This morning. It started just this morning after 3:27 this morning. Starts with tremors, continues with some more tremors. At 2:44 this morning, we had some minor earthquakes. 2.0, 2.5, 2.8 earthquakes. after, I'm sorry, that was after 3, 3:44, I'm sorry, 3:44 this morning. 3:30, 3:34 to 3:30 on the blue line here. Look what happens. We have some more 3.0 earthquakes here. This whole sequence started after 3:23. 3:23, 3:30, or 3:30, 3:31, 3:32, 33, 34, 35. 7 minutes of seismic sequence here. From the start of the tremors to the ending of the earthquake sequence. Starts again after 4:30 this morning. Starts again after 7 a.m. this morning. After 7:15. After 7:30. You can see what happens all the rest of the morning. Guam, Missouri this afternoon. Just a second, let me find it here. This is Guam, Missouri this afternoon. Look at this. We had minor earthquakes, tremors. Then we come over here. We have 12, 1, 2, 3 p.m. this afternoon. 3.3 earthquakes here. 3.3 earthquakes after 3 p.m. today. The sequence doesn't stop for a full minute and a half. Then after that, we have a secondary wave. The secondary wave lasts about a minute and a half here. Incredible. Incredible. Now, they said that we had an earthquake in Morganton, Missouri, didn't they? They said we had some minor earthquakes in Morganton, Missouri. Let's look. Look here. On the seismogram, it doesn't mention anything or show any minor earthquakes. All we're seeing here are tremors, minor tremors here. Long-term tremor sequences, long-duration tremor sequences here. This was this morning. Let's look at Morganton, Missouri this afternoon. This is Morganton, Missouri this afternoon. I'm more willing to say that this seismogram was not completely correct. Because for once, USGS said we had a 2.8 minor earthquake at Morganton, Missouri. And the seismograph doesn't show it. Why not? They erased the quake. They must have erased the quake. We've seen that happen before as well. They erased data. Let's go over to Barker Cemetery this morning. Barker Cemetery, where we used to see tremors and minor earthquakes all the time. Nothing but tremors and minor earthquakes all the time here at Barker Cemetery. In this case today, prior to 7 a.m., we had nothing happen. Microquakes at best. But after that, what happened? Minor earthquakes all over the place. Minor earthquakes all over the place. Until 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Until 9:04 this morning. 9:04 this morning, we had a 3.2 earthquake here. 3.2 earthquake. Then after that, after 11:30 here, at approximately 11:38 here on this blue line here at the bottom. This appears to be nothing more than a 3.03.1 earthquake here. Marcus Cemetery, Missouri. Smack dab in the center of the pneumatic fault. Missouri. Well, guess what happened over in Illinois today? On the northern part of the pneumatic fault. Look at this. Hopedale, Illinois. Look at this. This is the first time, guys. This is the first time that we've had 3.0, 3.3 earthquakes here in Illinois. The very first time is today. I haven't seen it until now. I have not heard about it until now. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Today. Just after 3:30. Just after 3:30, we have a 3.3 earthquake. Then we have a 3.0 at 3:03. We have another 3.0 at 3:04. Incredible. Incredible, guys. Then they turn the seismograph off. They turn the seismograph off for a full 15 minutes. We have no data after 3:15. No data at all after 3:15. They turned it off. Why? Were they afraid that we would continue with 3.0 or larger earthquakes here after 3:15? There may have been. The data has been erased. They turned off the seismograph. The data has been erased. This is what agencies do. I've already shown you data showing a great deal of earthquakes here on the pneumatic fault today. A lot of them. Let me show you Kewanee, Missouri here. Kewanee, Missouri. Look at this. It's not just on these other seismographs. Literally up and down the entire state of Missouri. Look what happened here in Kewanee, Missouri today. Just after approximately 1:20 a.m. this morning. Tremors. 121, 122, 123, 124, 125. Tremors and minor earthquakes. 1:30 this morning. Start off with 2.0 and then up to 3.2 earthquakes. 3.2 earthquakes for almost 50 seconds. Then it calms down to 2.8, 2.9, and then right up to 3.0 earthquakes again. Multiple 3.0 earthquakes this time. Calms down at another set of 2.9, 3.0 earthquakes after that. Then after that, we have a bunch of microquakes. Microquakes until 7:15 this morning. Then we have tremors for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 7:21, we have our first 2.0 earthquake. Then it gets larger than that. Get out here into the center of this seismograph. 7:20 a.m. this morning. 2.9 earthquake. 2.9 earthquake. This could have been a 3.0 as well. because 30 seconds later we had another 3.0. And a bunch of tremors and minor earthquakes as well. Look what happened here. Look what happened here after 11:45 this morning. Okay, 11:46, 11:47, 11:48, microquakes. Starting at 11:48, we had some tremors, 1.0 tremors. Became 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. 2 minutes later, 1.5, 1.7. 2.0 earthquakes. 2.8, 2.9. Minor 2.0, 2.1 after that. About a minute and a half. Then we went right back to having 3.0 earthquake sequences. Look at that sequence here. 30 seconds of 3.0 earthquakes here. 30 seconds, guys. Again, this is Kewanee, Missouri, the center part of the New Madrid Fault. Earthquakes. These are good sized earthquakes. Guys, there's problems here. There's problems. Yes, we've had some earthquakes erased. We've had a full 15 minutes of data erased as well. What else is there they're not telling us about? What else is there that they're not telling us about here? I showed you that 3.0 sequence over in Illinois, didn't I? Hopedale in Illinois. How about seismic energy in Evansville, Indiana? Evansville, Indiana, right there. At the most, these are all tremors here. This is all tremor information here this morning. How about tremors this afternoon? Look at this afternoon. Evansville, Indiana is also on the New Madrid Fault. Yes, we saw 3.0 small earthquakes over in Illinois to the west. 3.0 small earthquakes to the west. Tremors here to the east. Not bad. It's consistent. It makes sense. What I'm telling you, we are having earthquakes. The entire New Madrid Fault is hot. The entire New Madrid Fault is hot. What's going on? Let me show you Portisville, Missouri here. Portisville, Missouri here, right here, this morning. These earthquakes here look like earthquakes we've had over in the southern deserts of the Imperial Valley in California, or over near the volcanoes in eastern Los Angeles, La Puente Caldera. This is what we have here. We've seen this activity also up at Shasta Volcano. Now we're seeing it here. Portisville, Missouri. On the New Madrid Fault, right next to the New Madrid Fault here. Literally right next to the New Madrid Fault on the west side of the fault. What did we have here after 3 a.m.? 3:05 a.m. we had a series of 3.0 earthquakes here. They cut off the top and the bottom of the seismic sequence here. Cut off the top and the bottom of this seismic sequence. What is the problem? This was a much larger earthquake. This was a much larger earthquake here. 3.5, 4.0 earthquake here in Portageville, Missouri. What happened later? What happened here later after 9:58 a.m. this morning? What happened here? This is a 3.0 sequence here. Again, over here, right there on the green line here. Again, they cut off the top and they cut off the bottom of this seismic sequence. Then it continues over here on the far left-hand side. 10 a.m. So it's from 9:58 a.m. 3.0, 3.4 earthquakes here. Then we come over here to 10 a.m. The seismic activity continues for another minute and a half. So we have 3.5 minutes of 3.0 earthquake activity. 3.5 minutes of 3.0, 3.5 earthquake activity. Could have been larger. The earlier sequence this morning was after 3. Guys, this is major news. On the New Madrid Fault, we're having 3.5 to 4.0 earthquakes here on the New Madrid Fault. And again, USGS is failing to identify these quakes on their map. They're not addressing the real problem here. They're not addressing the fact that the New Madrid Fault is moving. It's moving a great deal. We are about to have an 8.0 earthquake here on the New Madrid Fault. We are about to see an opening up of the New Madrid Fault again. 200 years ago, 224 years ago, is the last time this fault opened up. For 2 months, we had 6.7, 7.0, 8.0 earthquake activity. Hardly anybody here. Now this entire area from Louisiana to the south, DeRidder, Louisiana to the south, yes, I have seismographs to show it. Minor tremors there. Minor tremors over in DeRidder, Louisiana. But from DeRidder, Louisiana to the south, down at the Gulf of America, all the way north to Illinois and Indiana, we have 3.0 to 4.0 earthquake activity, which means the seismic activity is building on the New Madrid Fault. It's very possible and likely that we could have an 8.0 earthquake here on the New Madrid Fault in less time than I said. It might not take 2 years. It could be this summer. At this rate of activity, we could have an 8.0 earthquake here this summer or by the end of the year. Is anybody concerned about this here? Is anyone here in this chat concerned? Is anyone in this chat concerned? Do you live here in the Ozarks of Missouri and Arkansas? You should be concerned. You should be very concerned. This area is shaking. You are going to see a major earthquake here. Many of these roads are two-way blacktop, 2-lane blacktop, highways, 2-lane blacktop, 1 lane in each direction. The last time this happened, those roadways were horse and buggy paths. No more. When this earthquake erupted, when this earthquake hit, there were huge fissures that opened up. Huge holes opened up in this area. Those horse and buggy paths became impossible to travel on. That's going to happen again. This same thing is going to happen again, guys. Roadways will be cut off. You won't be able to get from town to town or city to city. Little Rock will be cut off from Memphis. The bridge, the Highway 40 bridge, the I-40 bridge from Little Rock, Arkansas to Memphis, Tennessee will go down. That will probably fall into the Mississippi River. Other bridges as well, falling into the Mississippi River. Roadways going north, south, and east and west will have holes in them. Great big, huge fissures are going to open up. Gas mains are going to explode. There will be fires. People that have gas in their homes for their stoves and their furnaces and even their water heaters are going to be exploding. Fire departments will not be able to fight the fire because water mains will also not work. Water mains will be cut off from water. Earthquake will shatter the water mains, will shatter the water pipes, just as they shatter the gas pipes as well. There's going to be fires everywhere. The only way they're going to shut off the fire is to shut off the gas and drop airdrops of fire retardant and water on the fires at homes and businesses. That's the only way they're going to do it from the air. Fire departments will only have that water that they have on board their fire trucks. That's all. Helicopters and planes will be the only thing bringing water and fire retardant to those fires in Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Illinois, Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Louisiana, up and down the fall. Up and down the fall. The entire New Madrid fault is moving, guys. It's moving big time. It's moving big time. Let me show you Tiptonville, Tennessee. Look at this, guys. Look at this. This is very disappointing. Yes, we're showing you minor earthquakes here. In the past few days, USGS has reported 2.6 and 2.8 earthquakes here in Tiptonville, Tennessee. Yes, they've happened. You can see the 2.0 earthquakes here today. From 11:35, 11:36, 11:40, 11:42, 11:47, 2.0, 2.2, 1.5, 1.7 tremors here. Minor earthquakes and tremors here in Tiptonville, Tennessee. This seismograph is located at the Northwest Federal Correctional Complex in Tiptonville, Tennessee. That's where the seismograph is located. Let's look at what happened this afternoon. Look this afternoon. Here we have tremors. I don't think we have even had a 2.0 earthquake here in Tiptonville, Tennessee today. I'm sorry, this afternoon. This afternoon. We did this morning. Let's go look at Ridgely, Tennessee this morning. They've been reporting 2.7, 2.8 earthquakes here in Ridgely, Tennessee. This is the seismograph from this morning. Look what happened here this morning. And they are not reporting these earthquakes at all. They're not reporting the 3.0 earthquakes that we had at 9:33 this morning on the blue line. They cut off the top and the bottom of this sequence as well. Probably 3.5 earthquakes here for 30 seconds. 3.5 earthquakes here for 30 seconds. Then it dies off to just tiny, tiny tremors. We come over here further to the right. This is 3:42 this morning. 3:42, 3:43 this morning. 3:42, 3:43 this morning. Tremors going up to 2.8, 2.9. Then right before 3:44, 3.3 earthquakes again. And this time, again, the seismic center, the agency, cut off the top and the bottom of this sequence here. 3.3 earthquakes here. What happened after 10:32 this morning? 10:32 this morning on the bottom line here on the left-hand side. The third one from the bottom on the left-hand side. This sequence was also cut off the top and the bottom. We can't see the bottom. I assume this is probably 3.3 earthquake activity as well. Small earthquakes. Ridgely, Tennessee, guys. Ridgely, Tennessee. Ridgely, Tennessee this afternoon right here. We had tremors here. We had tremors here this afternoon. But it's still happening. It's still happening. The seismic activity did not stop. It's continuing. It's continuing. Let me take you over to Roper, North Carolina. South and east of where I live. Roper, North Carolina here. Look at this. Look at these 3.0, 3.5, possibly even 4.0 earthquakes here in North Carolina today. Look what happened here. And yet they're not talking about it. They're not talking one whit. They're not talking one whit about these earthquakes at all. People's homes and businesses were shaking today here in North Carolina. Look at this. Look at this seismic sequence here. In this case, it started at 2:41 a.m. this morning. Well, not 2:41, 9:41 a.m. this morning. 9:41 a.m. this morning. They caught at the bottom and the top of this sequence as well. Then on the blue line below it, 2:31, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just before 9:35 this morning. Another sequence of earthquakes. They cut off the top and the bottom. This is again at least a 3.5, 4.0 earthquake. Look at all these others here as well. All over. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 3.0 or large earthquakes. 15 3.0 or large earthquakes here in North Carolina today. Along the coastline of North Carolina. Why? Why did these earthquakes hit? Why did these earthquakes hit? This is Roper, North Carolina this afternoon. Right after 12 noon. Look what happened this afternoon. Another sequence of 3.0 large earthquakes. The largest earthquake here was after 12:03 p.m. this afternoon. 3.3 earthquake here. 12:03 this afternoon. 3.3 earthquake here. It doesn't start here or stop here. Does not stop here. Let's look at Roland, North Carolina. This is northeast of me. Roland, North Carolina this morning. For the most part, this is just tremors and minor earthquakes. That's what this is. However, let's go over here to 7:16, 7:17 this morning. Rolla, North Carolina. 7:16, we have some tremors. 7:17, 3.03.2 earthquake. After that, at 7:50 this morning, 2.3 earthquake, minor earthquake. Then after that, we have nothing but tremors until we get down here after 11:46 this morning. 2.93.0 earthquake. Not just one, but multiple 2.93.0 earthquakes here this morning at 11:46. Tremors and minor earthquakes after that. Let's take a look at Rolla, North Carolina this afternoon. Look at this. Just like Roper. Exactly like Roper, except this happened this afternoon. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes here. They did not cut off the top and the bottom of these quakes, I don't think. They may have, but I don't think they have. These are solid 3.0, 3.3 earthquakes here, especially this afternoon. This afternoon after 3:15, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 3:19 this afternoon. 3.0, 3.3 there. After 3:31 this morning, 3:31 this afternoon here, on the blue line, 3.1, 3.3 earthquake here. Then over here on the right, this is 3:41 p.m. this afternoon. 3.3 earthquake here. Why is this happening? Why are we having these earthquakes here in North Carolina? Why are we seeing these 3.0 earthquakes here in North Carolina? The answer is simple. The answer is very simple here. Very, very simple. Let's go back to the USGS map one more time. What do you think is happening here in the United States? Can anybody tell me what is going on here in the United States? What's been happening? What's been happening? Let's go over here to the Atlantic plate here, the Atlantic Ocean here. Notice that great big huge fault line going up and down the center of the Atlantic plate here. That is the Mid-Atlantic Fault. The Mid-Atlantic Fault is expanding. The Mid-Atlantic Fault is expanding. It's pushing Europe and Africa in an easterly direction. On the same token, it is pushing Greenland, Canada, and the United States in a south-southwesterly direction, and also Mexico, and also South America. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Now, what is this earthquake here in the northeastern part of the U.S.? We've had numerous earthquakes here. We've had numerous earthquakes here. This is the western side of the Eastern Continental Divide. This is a 3.0 earthquake here. This is a 3.0 earthquake identified by the USGS. This is a 3.0 earthquake identified by the agency. I'm telling you guys, you have some explaining to do. The middle of the Atlantic fault is expanding. That is why we're seeing earthquakes here on the eastern seaboard. That's why we're seeing earthquakes here on the eastern seaboard. Canada, the United States and Mexico and Florida. That's what's going on. The Atlantic fault is expanding and pushing Canada and the United States in a southwesterly direction. And in doing so, it's putting pressure on the New Madrid fault. It's putting pressure on the New Madrid fault. On the same token, we have seismic energy here on the western side of the U.S., on the left hand of the U.S. That seismic energy is putting pressure on the western side of the New Madrid fault. See all this seismic activity here? It's traveling eastbound. All this seismic activity is traveling eastbound, putting further pressure on the western side of the New Madrid fault, squeezing it, squeezing the New Madrid fault. This is why we're having earthquakes here on the New Madrid fault. The seismic activity here is increasing. The seismic activity here is increasing, guys. Increasing to a huge extent. It's putting pressure here. We are going to see a major earthquake here. It could come within a year. It might happen within 2 years, more likely 2 years. Seismic energy is increasing from day to day, week to week. We've seen it happen. Just what I've shown you here today is an increase over last week. It's a huge increase over last week. Unreal. And Surgery says he smells sulfur over there in northern Utah. That's because there's magma down there. There's magma down there, guys. Magma down there from the Yellowstone volcano. The southern end of the Yellowstone volcano. The southern end of the Yellowstone supervolcano. The Yellowstone magma chamber. Northern Utah. Crystal Springs, Utah. They have a huge spa there. They have Crystal Springs Spa there. It's heated by magma beneath the surface. The water there is heated by the magma beneath the surface. Magma is coming from the southern side of the Yellowstone magma chamber. The Yellowstone magma chamber is 11 Grand Canyons in size, stretching from northern Utah all the way north to the Canadian border. That's what's going on. Surgery, that's why you're having earthquakes as well. I'm very sure that that is why you are having earthquakes there as well. Lee, do not mention another YouTube channel here. We just removed your message here. Lee, please do not ever use or put up another YouTube channel here without my permission. You have to have my permission before you do that. Don't do it again. If you do it again, we will remove you from this channel. This is your second warning. I don't have to be a geophysicist. I have a degree in geology and seismology. I have a degree. I don't care what that other person is or isn't. Do not put another website here on this channel without first asking me for permission and gaining my permission. Don't do it. Ever. Nobody does it here. Nobody. Melissa's asking, isn't there a volcano in Alaska? There's multiple volcanoes in Alaska. There are 67 volcanoes in Alaska. 67. Mount Spur, west of Anchorage, is getting ready to erupt. Mount Spur, west of Anchorage, is getting ready to erupt. There are also other volcanoes there that are moving. They're showing signs of movement. Okay? I've got a degree in seismology and geology. I know what I'm talking about. I don't give a flying rat's butt what education anybody else has. I am the expert here. I also don't care whether research is other stuff. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. Okay? I appreciate all of you here. I really do. This is what's going on. We have seismic energy coming from the west coast over here to southwestern Texas, hitting those drill points where they drill for oil and gas in Texas and Oklahoma. Seismic energy flowing from the west coast all the way over to the western side of the Pneumatic Fault, putting huge amount of pressure on the western side of the Pneumatic Fault. I've shown you all the information you need. I've given you the proof. I've given you the proof, guys. The Earth is moving. The entire Earth is moving. Yes, we're going to see a major earthquake in the Pacific Northwest. We're going to see a major earthquake on the Pneumatic Fault. It's coming. It's coming. Do we have any questions about anything? USGS is not showing any earthquakes in southern Mexico. There are 42 earthquakes in southern Mexico. 42. 18 earthquakes in Central America. There are 23 earthquakes in South America. And USGS is showing 2. USGS is showing 2 earthquakes in South America. A 4.2 here. This is southwest of Vallejo, Chile. And one other earthquake down here near Vallenar, Chile, down here. This is a 4.4 earthquake here. They're not showing much of anything. They're not showing much of anything. USGS is nothing but a bunch of liars. USGS is nothing but a bunch of liars. Liars. Since we come on the air, we've had another earthquake over here in Indonesia. This earthquake is over here is a 5.3 large earthquake here. This is a 5.3 earthquake, 282 kilometers east-northeast of Los Palos, Timor-Leste, Indonesia. This earthquake is 165 kilometers deep. Still a fairly shallow earthquake. They're not showing earthquakes over in Papua Indonesia or Papua New Guinea. They're not showing any of the earthquakes in Solomon Islands or even Vanuatu tonight. They've removed them. 17 earthquakes over here in the Solomon Islands right here. Right here. Why did you remove a USGS? 17 earthquakes and a 6.2 as well. 6.2 very large earthquake here. Why did you remove it? Why are you not showing earthquakes over here in New Zealand? Why? Why are you not showing them? Earthquakes in Australia. Why are you not showing those? Inquiring minds want to know. South of Australia over here on the Antarctic Ridge. This is west of Macquarie Island here on the Antarctic Ridge. This is a 4.6 earthquake here. This happened at 5:50 a.m. this morning, Eastern Time. 4.6 moderate earthquake here. This is 10 kilometers, 6.2 miles deep. Unreal. I've shown you earthquakes almost around the world. There are earthquakes over here in Iran, Iraq, that they're not showing. Over here to the north of India, this is Onghai, China. A 4.1 earthquake here, moderate earthquake. More earthquakes all over China as well. Iran, Iraq. The Syria-Turkey border region right here. 24 earthquakes here. Why are they not showing them? Earthquakes all over Turkey here. Why are they not showing those? We even have 10 earthquakes over here in the Dokanese Islands that belong to Greece. These islands here in the Aegean Sea belong to Greece. They're called the Dokanese Islands. Earthquakes down here are because of magma beneath the surface. Magma trying to find the volcanoes to erupt here. Yes, we could still get an underwater eruption here and a new island. Down here in Santorini, this island shook so bad 2 months ago that they had to evacuate it because they believed that the volcano here was going to erupt. Santorini. Also over here in Argos, the evacuated part of Argos Island as well, and many other of these small islands here, because there's magma down beneath the surface. Volcanic action. Earthquakes down here around Crete, not showing those. They're not showing the 18 earthquakes here in Greece. Why not? Why not? Over here in Romania, why are they not showing those? Sicily and Italy here, not showing any earthquakes there. Why not? Why not? There are 34 earthquakes here in Italy. Handful of earthquakes here in southern Italy. And guess what we have here? We have another volcano that's shaking Italy right here. Magma trying to erupt right here. Major metropolitan center, just like we have up and down the entire New Matter Fault. This time, this is over because of a volcano in Italy. Volcano in Italy. Yes, folks, it's going to erupt. It's going to erupt. We don't know when, but it's going to erupt. North central Italy right up here. 24 earthquakes here. Why are they not showing these? Why not? Over here, earthquakes in Croatia. Why are they not showing these? Why not? Northern Italy here and the Andes Mountains. Why are they not showing these? Or not the Andes, but the, the Alps Mountains. These are tremors and minor earthquakes here in the Alps Mountains on the south and north side of Italy and Switzerland and Germany here, and even France. Minor earthquakes up here. Down here at the border region of Spain and France, 2 earthquakes here, minor earthquakes. 2.0, 2.89 earthquakes here. Spain, we have earthquakes. Earthquakes. Why is it not showing here in southern Italy, or southern Spain, and northern Spain here as well? Why? The Azore Islands here. The Azore Islands right here. Why are they not showing the 2.7, 2.8, 3.5 earthquakes here? Why not? Why not? Why are they not showing the earthquakes down here in the Canary Islands? Why are they not showing these earthquakes here? Because they think they don't have to. Folks, this whole area is full of earthquakes. We have earthquakes here in Scandinavia right here. Norway and Sweden. Norway and, I'm sorry, this is Italy, I'm sorry. Norway and Sweden right here. Well, that wasn't Italy, I'm sorry, that was England. Why are they not showing them? Joseph, you'll never get Hurricane Heather in trouble. She's awesome. Hurricane Heather is one of our valued mods here. I don't know Hurricane Heather ever has been in trouble here on this channel, and that's not going to happen. Joseph Page, did you have a question to me? Does anybody have any questions for me? Any questions? Okay. If there's no questions, I want to end this program here. I'm going to end with a short devotional. At the end of every program, we end with a short devotional. We are Christians here. We are Christians here. We love to hear about Jesus Christ. We talk about Jesus Christ. We walk in his footsteps, and we read Christian scriptures. Right now, I'm over in Luke. Now, folks, we just got through celebrating Easter. Sunday, we're going to celebrate Mother's Day. I also want to thank all the mothers out here. I want to thank all the mothers here. We have our share of earthquakes in Germany as well, Heidi. All kinds of earthquakes there. We always do. Renee here in the chat has been posting tornado warnings and watches and flash flood warnings as well because of major storms going through the area. Renee just posted a flash flood warning issued today at 6:13 p.m. Eastern Time until 9:15 Eastern Time today from Okaloosa, Florida. From Alabama to Okaloosa, Florida. Incredible. Anyway, as I said before, we just got through celebrating Easter, but I still have Easter on my mind. We talk about Jesus Christ all the time. I want to go back to when Christ, after Christ had been scourged, he was taken before Pontius Pilate. He went there. Pontius Pilate had Jesus Christ and Barabbas there. Barabbas was a criminal. Barabbas was a thief. Pilate had the Jews out below him in the courtyard. Pilate had asked the Jews who that they wanted, Barabbas or Jesus Christ. They called to Christ to crucify him. Crucify him. Pilate therefore was willing to release Jesus, to release Jesus to the Jews to crucify him, because he did the work of the Lord, even on the Sabbath. Jesus Christ did the work of his Father on the Sabbath and every other day. He also taught the priests and the Sadducees and Pharisees in the temple. They didn't like that. They didn't like that. Jesus Christ was known as the King of Israel. They didn't like that. They crucified Jesus Christ. They crucified Jesus Christ. Guess what? They killed him. They laid him in a grave. They laid him in a grave. On the third day, he rose. Christ lives. He lives who once was dead. He lives, my ever-living head. I know that Jesus Christ is our Savior, our Lord of Lords, our King of Kings. I know that. Please, please, folks, please pray for each other. Pray for those who are known and dear to us. Please pray for yourselves and your families. Please share this program with everybody you know. Your families, your extended family, your neighbors and friends, the people you associate with on social media, even here on YouTube. Share this program with them. Share this program with them. Share this program with the people you work with. There's nothing that you should be ashamed of. Share with everybody. Everybody deserves to hear the word of God. Everyone deserves to know Jesus Christ is here. Everybody deserves to see the earthquakes and everything else going on around us. Heidi Petrick just gave us another 5 memberships to our emergency management team here on YouTube. Charlene Savant received a membership here. Let's Do Stuff received a membership here. MT Jen received a membership. And Hood received a membership here on YouTube. You folks that received memberships, please thank Heidi Petrick for that. Heidi Petrick has continued to help promote this program and also help to support this program even with donations on PayPal. And other members of our team have also given us PayPal donations as well. They've given us super chats here on this program as well. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all those who give memberships here. I appreciate all those that support this program, either through super chats here, super thanks, or donations through our mailing system. You see our mailing address going across the bottom of your screen right now. Our mailing address is 504 Bethel Road, Box 401, Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. Our Venmo and PayPal locations are also scrolling across the bottom of your screen now. We'd appreciate any and all support you can give us. Greatly appreciate to keep this program on the air. We love and appreciate each one of you. You make our day. You make our day. Yes, I ask the Lord's blessings to be upon you, each and every one of you and your families. I'm asking the Lord to bless all of you mothers, all of your mothers on this Mother's Day especially. Every day is Mother's Day. Every day is Mother's Day. We must thank and show our mothers thanks and love every day, but especially on Mother's Day. My mother is no longer here, but I wish her a Heavenly Mother's Day as well. Both of our mothers, our mother and stepmother, they were very wonderful girls, very wonderful women, very wonderful mothers. We love and appreciate each one of them. God bless our mothers. God bless each one of you. Rob52 just is one of our mods here. He just put up our mailing address and also our Facebook location as well. We do have a Facebook location called Emergency Management Associates on Facebook. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. But guys, you have every opportunity now to help donate to this program and to support this program and each other, to keep this program on the air. I would not have ever thought when I first started this 6 years ago that I would ask to have money to donate to this program, because I didn't really believe that it took money to keep this program in the air, but it does. Again, I ask the Lord to bless you. I thank you all for being here. Share this program worldwide, guys. We're also trying to join are trying to spread this channel up. We're trying to make this channel grow. If you haven't already become a member of this channel, please do so. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do so. When you subscribe, also click on that little bell icon. When you click on that little bell icon, there will be a drop-down menu of 3 items. Click on the word ALL, all. That should get you notified when we come on the air. Be advised, YouTube does not even notify everybody. Even our mods aren't notified when we come on the air. Unreal. So please do that. Please do that. Subscribe and give a like also to our program. Give a thumbs up to our program before we leave. I ask God to bless you. God be with you until we meet again. We will see all of you on the other side. We were going to take tomorrow off unless something happens. And I may come on the air early in the morning if and when this spacecraft from Russia crashes into the earth again. Other than that, we'll come back on the air here if something else happens tomorrow. Sunday, we have a Sunday school class at 12:30 every Sunday on the air here every Sunday, talking more about Jesus Christ, his love, his mission, and love for us. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Good night, everybody. Much love. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your evening. Take care. God bless.
Ron has been a first responder and in the preparedness arena for years. Ron has lived in earthquake country, where quite a few large earthquakes hit San Diego, and the state of Ron and his crews have saved many people's lives. Ron has spoken to hundreds of community groups, helped organize preparedness fairs where he has lived. Ron has met hundreds of people and he valued in those communities and continued to work and lecture people on the complex work of emergency/disaster preparedness and emergency management. Ron Have spent 24 years in law enforcement and have an extensive background in law enforcement and tactics. His career was spent in homicide, traffic accident investigation, weapons and tactics, and personal/executive protection and emergency management. Ron Tyler has been a missionary for his church and is now a gospel doctrine instructor. If you would like to support our program and what we are doing, you may make donations to paypal.me/emergmtsop591, paypal.me/rltnspd@hotmail.com, Venmo @RonaldTyler17.